Hi guys, welcome back to the JavaScript video series. This is video number 8 and today we're going to look at JavaScript conditions. JavaScript conditions are basically decision structures based on which the JavaScript code will take various decisions. And if you're coming from a different programming language, you basically know it's the if and else command statements. And if you don't have any programming background, it's not a problem. I'll take you through the if and else commands and the syntax in a very detailed manner right now. So the first I'll just write out the syntax out here. I've opened my JS Fiddle window and you can see I'm in my JavaScript tab here, and I'm going to first write out the syntax, how it's supposed to be, and then I'm going to show you some code examples, right? So basically this is how it works. So it's going to be an if and else statement. So if, and there will be two round brackets, and then you'll put the condition here, whatever the condition is. Let's say I'll just write a comment called condition, and then there will be a curly brace where if this condition is met, you enter this curly brace, and then some code here will execute, right? Basically this is how it's supposed to work, that if you're telling JavaScript that if this condition is met, so it could be like two values are equal or one value is greater than the other or anything, it could be anything. If this condition is met, then you'll execute some code inside these braces, right? These curly braces. Now conditions are very important in any programming language, so this is a very important section, so make sure you kind of try and understand the whole thing completely. The other way you can use, let me draw this dotted line here. The other way you can use conditions is if the condition, and then here's the condition, and then you have this curly brace where code A will execute, right? Or there could be something called as an else, like if this condition is met, then do this. Else, if the condition is not met, then do this, like, you know, code B will execute. Does that make sense? Right. If this condition is met, run code A. If otherwise, run code B. It's very simple. There's another way to use this, which is the if and else if. So if, and then again you write the condition, and then you say code A will execute. Then you say else if, and then you say the condition B. So let me make this the condition A, and here in these curly braces code B will execute, and then else, if none of these conditions are met, then code C will execute. Now the beauty here is that you can have hundreds of these different conditions. With else if you can have a lot of different conditions. You don't necessarily need to just stay put at just or limit yourself to just 3 conditions. So let me show you what I'm trying to say. Basically there can be another else if here. Else if condition C is met, then you have code C will execute. And then if A, B, C, none of these are met, then directly code D will execute. And similarly, like I showed you that there are these two if else if conditions, there can be so many more. There can be hundreds of else if conditions basically. And then in the end, you'll have this else the code in the end running, which basically if none of these conditions is met, then this code executes. So now let's start going into the examples by using these. Okay. So let me erase all of this, and then let's define a value called var A equal to 20, right? Then let's say if A is equal to 20, then do something like, let's say console.log the value of A is 20. Or let's say document that right, not console.log, because I'll have to show you the console otherwise. Right. So is the value of A is 20 because it is A double equal to 20. You've seen in my previous videos that when if you want to equate or check if two things are equal, the value of two things are equal, then you put the double equal to sign, which basically checks the value of A is equal to the value of 20. And if you remember that the triple equal to checks both the value and the type of the object, right? So we just want to check the value of A and 20. We just want to compare that. So it says yes, the value of A is 20, but let's say else document dot write the value is not 20. So now if I run it again, you'll see the value of a is 20 because the value of a has not changed. But if I change it, if I make it 25, 24, let's say, it says the value of a is not 20, right? Does that make sense? Because this condition is not met, so this code is run instead of this code is being executed. So this code has been executed basically. The value of a is not 20. Now let's say I put another condition here with else if, which I'd shown you very recently. So else if a equal to 30, the value of a is 30, right? And here you'll say else document dot write the value of a is not 20 or 30. Does that make sense? So now what do you think should be the answer? Let's see. The answer is this: the value of a is not 30 or 20 or 30, because it's neither 20 nor 30. Now let me make it 30. So now you can see the value of a is 30, right? So similarly, you can keep adding more and more else if conditions. So let me just show you one more else if condition so that this concept is completely clear. Equal to 40. Let's make it 40. Document dot write the value of a is 40, and here we'll write value not 20 or 30 or 40. So let's say 31. So what do you think it should say? It should execute the last line. It's not 20, 30 or 40, right? But if I make it 40, it'll give me 40. If I make it 30. So basically, based on any condition that is met, we can execute that exact code here. I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope you've now have an idea of how conditional statements in JavaScript work. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.